Hello friends, this is Creative Hands. I am Creative Hands, all right. And then a lot of persons have been asking me questions on price fixation, as in how to fix prices for their products, and I have promised that I will be making a video on that, all right. So I have tried to make the video today, and everything that I would be discussing here today, they are personal opinions, so they are my own opinion. Everything I would be discussing today, they are personal opinions, all right. I would be backing up my claims, because if I say principles now I will be backing up my discussions with some of the economics principles that I know, all right. So I'm going to start with what it will cost us to produce and how we should fix our prices. So if you are a business owner, a small business owner that produces what you sell, all right, then this video is for you. So if you produce what you sell, if the things you are selling, they are handmade and handmade by you, this video is for you. I have been getting several questions from a lot of my subscribers and even just my viewers on how they should fix the prices for their products. I cannot outrightly come to tell you that your prices should be fixed like this, but I'm just going to give you some simple tips that should guide you while you fix your prices, all right. That's what profit is. So what is your cost price? That's what we are going to talk about now. What is your cost price? Okay, so if you are going to produce anything at all, it doesn't matter what you are producing. I am a producer of auto gele, turban, fascinator, every form of headwear that you can think of. Some of them are personal creations, some of them I recreate them, you understand, all right. So when we now say the cost of production, we are looking at what it takes you in total to produce a certain goods. So we're told that there are factors of production in economics, all right. So for you to take any product from raw material stage to finished product has different factors of production. We're told that land, labor, capital, entrepreneur, they are all factors of production, all right. So these factors of production, they are usually the things we consider in placing our prices for our products, all right. So the land, where is your shop? Where is it located? Where is your production point located? Are you producing at home? Are you producing in a shop? Did you rent a place? Do you have an apartment separate from where you are producing? That is land, all right. So, and they told us also in economics that the reward for land is rentage, that is rent, all right. So assuming you are producing from home, because today you don't really need to own a physical shop to produce. You don't need to own a physical shop. Your online shop is enough to do the magic for you. Do you understand? But assuming you are producing from home, is that enough reason to strike out rent as part of your cost of production? If you are producing from home, because even if that place is owned by you, is it enough reason to strike out rent as part of your cost of production? It is not enough. Everything should be calculated into your cost of production before actually giving any selling price. Do you get me? All right. So you consider the place where you are operating from. You consider the source of power supply that you are using, especially in Africa. I have to keep checking my mic. Okay, maybe I should just hold it like this. Especially in Africa, you have to consider your sources of power supply, because we all know that our power supply from the government, they are not reliable. I don't know what it might become in next few years, but for us at today in Africa, especially in Nigeria where I reside, it is not reliable. So most times when you go to your shop, your place of production, you actually operate your generator from morning till night, and you are going to be spending money to do that. All right, so it also means that you have to consider that into your cost of production. Are we together? Then what about your transportation? It is part of your cost of production. All right, then what about your material that you are going to use? It's part of your cost of production. The truth is, in this cost of production, nothing is too small to be included in the cost of production. They are all, look, as small as hand needle, if not available, you might not be able to complete certain jobs. As small as hand needle. You get me? So even hand needle that you are using has to be included in your cost of production. All right, because profit is selling price minus cost price. All right, before you can see, so all your cost price has to be included. You have somebody that is working with you that you pay on monthly basis. If you are paying rent, how much is your monthly rent and all of that? All your rent should be shared into the numbers of days in a month. You add it, you add your rent plus the payment you make to your sales rep or anybody assisting you in your place of business. You calculate the transportation for going to the market to get the raw materials. How many times did you go to the market? How many markets did you visit? And you are spending money. All has to be included. I know that it's going to sound like, if I'm going to calculate all this, will it not be too much? No, it won't. It won't. We are not producing one thing in a day. Remember that. But everything has to be calculated. As small as the hot glue, you know, hot glue, candle glue that we use. You have to calculate it. You don't just say, oh, because I use half candle glue, I don't need to calculate it. Why? If you don't have it, will you be able to finish that job? I don't know if you are getting me. If that candle glue is not there at that time, you have to go to the market to buy. So if you have it it's ready, you already have it in your shop and you are using it, you have to calculate it. If you are going to add some kind of embellishment that you even already have in the shop, like stick rolls and all of those things that we always have around in our shops, and you have to know the cost of the stick rolls that you are adding, and you have to calculate it. So every little thing you use for your business, for the process of production, has to be calculated. All right. One very important resources that we tend not to really consider so much in the cost of production is time. You know, the time you spend for producing each product affects that product's price. The time affects the product price. There is no way you will spend one day, a whole day on a product, and you expect to charge the same amount that you expect to charge the same amount for a product you just make for 2 hours. So time is one very priceless resources, and we don't have to play with it. Time is very priceless. If I'm going to fix any price for you for any product, I'll first of all consider, what am I doing with this work? What am I going to do with this work? Okay, I'm going to bid, I'm going to need to like stiffen, I'm going to need to use this, I'm going to need to use that. It's going to take me 10 minutes to do this, 30 minutes to do that, 1 hour to do this, and all of that. I have to look at the time. The more the time I spend, the more time I spend on a product, the higher the price of that product. Remember, I said I cannot tell you in particular that go and fix 10 naira for your product, but I will only give you tips of things that you should consider as you fix your prices. All right, so that time is one very precious resources that you have to really cherish. Yes, the time is not our friend. It is never enough. So whoever you spend the time for has to pay for it. All right? Okay, I put down some things that I would just take through, some things that can affect our prices. I will just go through them and then I will be done with this video. I've talked about the cost of production, and you can see that is so much. If I really want to elaborate as in spend time with it, I can use the cost of production to just close this video, but I'm not going to do that. All right, so we are going to look at your business location. You know, the areas where your business is located is very important, so you have to ensure that you are really looking forward to giving your business a good base. So you have to look at, where am I locating my business? If your business is located in a very local area, it's not bad. Your marketing strategies can promote you, because if for instance, you are doing your business at home and you have a good marketing management, you will be able to reach out to the rich and the mighty, the high and mighty in the society. All right, so business location is a big deal, because it has to deal with the people that will be around your business areas. The people in your business premises are the ones that are usually first to see your product and first to price your product, so it has a way of affecting your product. All right, then we are looking also at the fabric that we work with, so the type and cost of fabric that you work with. We have some fabric in the market that we know they are top class, top notch fabric, and you don't want to play with such things. You know, when you work with quality material, you meet quality people. All right, don't always go for the cheap fabric in the market. Sometimes I go to the market to shop for my house, just my household things. I go to the market for that, and once in the process of going around, I can just come across some very beautiful fabric I never budgeted for. Because I'm a producer, I buy them. The reason is, if you don't buy them that day and you say, oh, I will come back in 2 weeks time, you might get there, you will not find the material again. You will try to describe and the person will not be able to know it. All right, so sometimes I just come across some fabric. I say, madam, how many yards do you have? He say 20 yards. Okay, give it to me. How much is it? I just carry it and go, because most of the fabric that we use, they are unique fabrics that you might not even see a second one. All right, so your fabric has to be good, and when you work with good fabrics, you'll be able to fix good prices. Okay, all right, we've talked about the source of light. We also talk about good embellishment. Work with very good embellishment. All the things you need to use to beautify your turban, your autogele, all the work of your hands. You can be a tailor, you can, whatever you are doing, use the best. That's just all I am saying. And then I also said the type of design of the work you are doing, especially if you are into autogele, fascinators and all of that. Your type of design has to affect your price. All right, because the designs, most of the designs are very easy to make, while some of them will take a lot of your time. All right, there's something we call risk factor in production, as in how exposed are you. The risk factor can also affect you. Are you prone to being injured and all of that? What's the danger involved in this work that you are going to do? Are you going to be doing some dying of material? Are you going to dye the fabric? Are you going to dye your feathers? Are you going to dye whatever you are going to use? You know, it's going to, some of this work takes a lot of process, and the more the process, the higher the price. All right, and then we talk about the delivery method. All right, delivery method has to do with how are you going to get this product to the client. So is your client coming over to your business place to pick this product, or you are sending this product to the client and you are responsible for the way bill? If you are the one to send this product to the client, then you have to consider how much it will cost you to take that product from the production point to the end point. All right, to the doorstep of the client. All right, right? So you have to consider it and also add it in your price. So that is our delivery method. And then we also have to consider competition. All right, we have a lot of competition around, so we have to make sure that our products are good so that you can be able to stand the competition that is on it now. Especially if you're a producer of headwear, you are in for it. The competition is getting tougher and tougher by the day, so you just have to make sure that you are at the top of the game. You have to make sure that you are at your best at all time. Yes, seriously, if you really want to have a good price for your product. All right, and then you also have to know your worth. What is your worth? You have to know your worth. Okay, you have to know your worth. Okay, and then yes, we have to also consider good finishing, good material. All right, and lastly, the caliber of your customers. All right, who are the people you are dealing with? You have to know them. And then your time. The demand for your product will affect your price. Now, this demand does not have to do with the cost of production. It's not for the cost of production, but this has to do with the higher the demand, the higher the price. So the demand for your product will affect your price. If you have very small persons coming to ask for your goods, then you have to work harder. But when you are having so many clients that your time, this time that is never enough, you have to like squeeze it and work extra hours for them, then your demand for your product will affect your price. It is economics that said the higher the demand for a product, the higher the price. I remember during the COVID years, 2019, 2020, when COVID was here, the medical nose masks that was just selling for 30 naira. I'm using naira in currency because I'm a Nigerian, all right, and I'm based in Nigeria. That just sells for 30 naira went as high as 500 naira for a nose mask. Yes, so because of the high demand, it will look like you have very little to give to plenty people, so you have to like strategize and give to the highest bidder. All right, so you don't just, once the demand for your product is beginning to increase, and it will only increase when you are doing very good job. Are you getting me? When it's beginning to increase, then it means higher bidders has to have the day. Yes, I'm not saying don't work for everybody, but you have to look at your time, you have to manage your time and give to the highest bidder. All right, the higher the demand, the higher the price. Okay, then I will just drop some few tips that I think can help. One is don't discuss the cost of your production with your clients. A lot of them has a way of messing it up. All right, then another thing is don't manage your fabric. If you are going to use 1.5 yard of material for a product, don't manage 1 yard. You will not be at your best, and when your client is wearing it, you will not be there to explain to people that are just using their eyes to judge it. All right, so if a client is bringing 1 yard for something, you know you are supposed to work with 1.5 yard, let your client know that it is 1.5 yard or nothing. It is either you change this style or we don't do it. I cannot do it with 1 yard. So when your client is insisting, please manage it. Say, I cannot, the style can never be done with 1 yard, even when you know you can manage it, because you have to protect your handwork. Yes, because you will not be there to explain. You will not be there to tell the other persons that are seeing it, that would have come for you to say, oh, please come and do my. You will not be there to explain to them that it's not my fault too. She said I should manage 1 year. A lot of them will not even ask her. They will just look at the head and look at the designs and say, what rubbish is this? So don't manage material, don't discuss the cost of your production with your clients. Don't. It's part of our marketing strategies. Don't discuss to that extent. Don't allow anyone to force the word out of your throat. Don't allow anybody to shock you. How much will it cost? How much will you buy it? If you want to buy material and bring for me to produce, go and buy. When you bring it for me, I will tell you what it will cost me to make it. All right. So sometimes some persons will go and buy materials and bring for you to produce certain things for them. It's not a bad idea. And sometimes you might want to say, what if I'm not the one buying the material? Of course, if you are not the one buying the material, put every other thing into consideration except the price of the material. All right. Oh, thank you very much for stopping by this channel today. I do hope you enjoyed today's discussion. We have a lot of things to discuss about. It's just the time. I always try to like maneuver my time, but I don't really know. All right, so I will be doing my best to see that we do what we can. I'll just put a little Bible quotation that says, "Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He said, that man shall stand before kings and not ordinary men." So you have to be diligent in your business. Keep doing what you know how to do best, and I promise to see you very soon in a new video. So for now, it will be bye from my end, and please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and don't also forget to recommend the channel to other persons. I will see you in my next video. All right.